Hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jan and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. Today's video is kind of spur of the moment. I wasn't going to do it. Nikki messaged me and said, you should totally do a Rephr video because of the huge sale. And I thought I just did one not that long ago. So did it make sense for me to do another one? So I went back and checked, and the video I did was my top 5 Rephr brushes. So I'll link that down below if you want just like a quick review of what I think is like the best of the best of the best. But for this video, I thought I would show you all of my Rephr brushes. Now, I only paid full price for maybe 2 or 3, like my very first order. And then they sent me the questionnaire and I filled it out, and every time you do that you get a 40% off discount. So if you want to see what brushes I have and what I think of them, stick around, we're going to get into it. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, now is a great time to do that. I upload several videos every week. If you click on the little bell and choose all, YouTube will notify you when I upload a new one, and you can choose to watch it or not. It's totally up to you, no pressure. Either way, I appreciate you being here. Okay, so I thought I would start with my face brushes. I don't have quite as many, and I can't say with like 100% certainty that I have every single brush, but I'm fairly confident I have almost every single brush. So I'll start with the ones that I'm using that are dirty, and I have the Rephr number 30. This is a giant brush. If you have a big face, this would be great for bronzer or just face powder. I use this after I tap on powder with my puff. I just use this and kind of all over and drag it down my neck because my neck doesn't match my face ever. So this is just a nice big fluffy brush for quickly distributing powder. I also have the 25 and the 22, slightly different shapes. This would be probably really good for blush or bronzer. If you have a bigger face, it's a bit more compact. The handles on these are ginormous, and this one is a bit more tapered. So yeah, they're lovely brushes, and these I've had for quite a long time. I wash them all with baby shampoo or the Rephr brush soap, and they just stay working and looking beautiful. My other 2 that are dirty are the 04. I have 3 of these. I love these brushes because I have a small face and I am a bit older, and for me, where I place bronzer and blush matters. Because I'm older, I want to kind of keep things higher up, and it requires a smaller brush. So I use one for blush and one for bronzer, and it just allows me to put it exactly where I want it and blend it out. I love these brushes. These are 2 that, if anything happened to these, I would pay full price for these brushes if I had to. That's how much I think these are worth it. They're fantastic. I used to really like the 05 for bronzer and blush. I recently tried them again, and I don't love it as much now, but I am more specific where I put blush and bronzer now than I used to be. But these are beautifully fluffy. They're a little bit more not flimsy. I can't think of a good word. They're not stiff, but they're not quite as like flippy floppy. That doesn't make any sense probably, but anyway, if you have a slightly larger face or you want to blend a larger area, these would be great for blush and bronzer as well. But they're just a little bit too big for what I need them for. But I think maybe I could definitely get away with using them for blush, or even an all over buffing brush, which I actually do have. I've been using my Wayne Goss one, but I have this Rephr 37, which is really nice for buffing powder over my face when I'm done with blush, bronzer, contour, all the things. I think this is a really nice one for that. Again, smaller, detailed, things aren't going to get crazy out of hand. So yeah, I would definitely recommend the number 5. I really do like that brush, and I think maybe I'll switch out my 04 blush for the 05 blush for a little while and try that out. Now here's one that I can say I don't love with my whole heart. It's the 31. This is a stippling like foundation brush. It feels lovely. Like it's really nice. For me, the handle's really hard to hold. And I think that's the only thing I don't like about it, is that because my hands are weak and kind of small, this brush is just harder to hold and apply foundation with, but it's a very, very nice foundation brush if the handle isn't a big deal for you. So I definitely would recommend, all of them. I'm not going to keep saying it over and over and over and over again. It's just the way it is. Okay, now I want to tell you about these. These are like the newer brushes they released, if I'm not mistaken. We have the 35, the 36, the 33, and the 32. These I think of as like face detail brushes or concealer brushes or like eye primer. These are all really nice for, again, very detailed face stuff, or if you want to just use them to blend out an eye primer, they're fantastic for that. I love these. They're so good. This one would make an excellent contour brush because it's so short and stubby and kind of it's not stiff. None of them are stiff, but stiffer. And then this one is kind of angled. This is the 36, which is, I think, really nice. It's almost like a flat paddle brush, but not quite. And then you have the flat paddle brush, like a miniature foundation / concealer brush. So I'm a big fan of all of these. And then we have the number 12, which I really like for, again, my favorite brushes are going to be detail brushes. These are really, really good for placing product in a very small area, outer, inner corner. It deposits it, and you can blend with it a little bit without it getting carried away. And then we have the 26, which is like a giant pencil brush, which is fantastic because the number 3 is like a regular size pencil brush, and these are my favorites for lower lash line, inner corner, brow bone highlight. They're amazing. But even cooler than that are these 23s. These are teeny, teeny, tiny pencil brushes. Look at the difference between the 3 and the 23. Like, that's amazing. I love, love, love this brush specifically for putting eyeshadow in here. I am quite a bit older. I have a lot of wrinkling there, and this really helps to get it put exactly where I want it. You could even do like a thicker lash line liner type look with this and smoke it out. Absolutely fantastic. And they have these little detail brushes. We have the 29 and the 34. This is like a flat liner brush, and then this one is like a really skinny liner brush. I haven't used this one much, but I really do like this one for, again, detail work. They're teeny tiny and they're amazing. And here we have the Rephr 01 and the Rephr 02. These are really nice flat shader brushes. This one, the 01, is obviously quite a bit bigger than the 02. So if you have larger eyes, you might like the 01 more. If you have smaller eyes, you might like the 02 more. Also, I think worth noting is the 28 is very, very similar to the number 2. It's a little bit skinnier and a little bit thinner, you know, this way, but the same idea. And I always refer to these two as like interchangeable on my eyes because the size difference is, it's not that big. I mean, it's obviously noticeable, but both of these are absolutely lovely. These two brushes, don't fall. These two brushes were amongst my first ones. They are the 16 and the 15. They are big blending brushes. The 16 is slightly taller, like the bristles are a little bit longer than the 15, and it's a little skinnier towards the top, but kinda the same thing. These are excellent for blending out like a transition area, or if you have larger eyes, this would make a really good crease brush for you. Both of these are fantastic. And again, I think of them as interchangeable because they are so big for my eyes. I can use them both for the same thing. If you have bigger eyes, it might make a difference for you. But these are really, really good brushes. And again, they were amongst my first purchases when I didn't know that bigger brushes may not be the best thing for my eyes, especially as I've aged. I didn't always have super hooded eyes. They've gotten more hooded with years. So there's that. My most reach for number one go-to brushes are the 13 and the 14. Again, it's the same idea as with the 15 and 16. The 14 is slightly longer bristles, a little skinnier at the tip, but they do the exact same thing. This is my go-to for blending out my crease or transition area. These are my absolute most favorite. Reach for them all the time. I always have at least one dirty. I currently have this one going now. They do stain, like all my brushes, some of them are definitely stained up. It happens. They don't feel oogie. They're still very, very soft and work beautifully. So, if I were doing professional makeup, it would matter, but I'm just doing mine and the grandbabies. So nobody cares if my brushes are a little bit stained up, but they're still in pristine condition. Then we have the 21. I love, love, love these brushes for shimmer shades. They are synthetic, so it's easy to pick up a shimmer or a metallic shade, wet it, and apply it with this. You can also use the 02 and the 28. They're all pretty much gonna do the same thing. Some eyeshadows prefer synthetic brushes, some eyeshadows prefer natural hair brushes. It just depends on the formula of the eyeshadow, but I would definitely recommend having a couple of these in your arsenal if you like an impactful shimmer shade, because then you can wet it and it's amazing. I think the last ones I have to talk about are the 27, which are again very, very, very similar to the 15 and 16. They just, large fluffy brushes. So if you have larger eyes, these would be incredibly easy to just a quick eyeshadow look and then you'd be done. So all of these brushes, from what I understand, the entire site is going to be 40% off starting today when I upload this. And some stuff like the tools are going to be 50% off. I don't know why it's happening. I got an email saying the store was closed temporarily. It would be opening back up on the 14th at 40% off. So if you need anything, now would be a great time to pick something up. And if you don't need anything, skip the sale. Save a few bucks. But one of the cool things about ordering from Rephr is that you get access to the secret shop, and that's where I was able to get the bamboo sheet. And I don't know if that's going to be available, and if it is, I would definitely recommend. Definitely. That sheet is amazing. Like I mentioned in my video talking about it, it is Care Aloha quality, and Care Aloha is the best. So I think that's everything. And like I mentioned earlier, I do wash these with either baby shampoo or the Rephr brush soap. So if you're looking for a good brush soap that is incredibly gentle on natural hair brushes but does a good job, I would go with the Rephr ones. I'm also using that, what did they call it? It was one of the skincare things in the pump, like a rehydration, I think. And I love it. I use it every morning and every other night. It's lovely. I don't know if it's doing anything or not. It hasn't been long enough to actually tell if my skin has made any changes for better or worse, but I can tell you it's not worse. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Are you planning to pick anything up? Was this video at all helpful for you, or just my yammering your ear off for no reason? I hope that you liked this video or found it helpful. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Hopefully you liked this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Be good and remember to be kind to you.